Hey, well, welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Ormsby again. We're doing our third reading today on the Athenian rulers today. It's our third video in this series. And of course, you have your Ed puzzle to complete below. But do make sure you're pausing the Ed puzzle, guys, and filling in your guided notes that we have provided you so you can have those as a study guide on the test and on test day. So, well, let's begin. Okay, we're doing our rulers of Athens. The first one is Draco. In 621 BC, Draco established a written legal code. That was a short one. The penalties for breaking the laws were very harsh, and most called for the person to be put to death. This may sound like someone else we talked about this year. The word draconian comes from his name and means cruel and severe. You'll see it very often advertised in movies on Netflix about a draconian society. This would be something like The Handmaid's Tale or the movie show 100, where you have this really odd, harsh, violent, cruel society, unlike ours. Draconian. Okay? But we will ask, why is a written code of law important? Now, we remember earlier this year we talked about another gentleman who had a written code, and we had an awesome music video about him. Everybody remembers Hammurabi's code. And it's very similar, the same rules. Why having a written code is important. I mean, don't you like to have the classroom rules written down so you can remember what they are, so you can remember what to follow, you know your expectations? And of course, maybe that does provide a level of fear and intimidation that kind of causes people to follow these rules because they are afraid of the consequences. But let's continue. Solon, he ruled around 594 BC. He canceled all land debts and freed debtors from slavery. And he created a new, less harsh written code of law. So this is a big step at this time, doing away with the so-called indentured servants for debt and for slavery. Like you cannot be thrown in jail today for not paying your bills. You just ruin your credit. So this is a big step forward in human rights, citizens' rights, and having a less harsh written code of law definitely gained him favor among his people. He did limit the amount of land one person could own, and he extended citizenship to non-native born artisans and merchants. So we see a very welcoming Athens under his rule. He created two houses. It's called Bicameral Legislature. Somewhat similar to what we see today. We have a Congress and a Senate. So he has two houses of legislature. The Council of 400, which is made up of nobles who proposed these laws. And then he had the General Assembly made up of land-owning commoners who approved these laws. Next, we have Pastratis. He ruled from about 561 to 527 BC. Now, he divided large estates among landless farmers, which some people might call that a communistic or socialist idea, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. He did extend citizenship to men who did not own land. So we're seeing now more citizens, more people who are not born there we saw under Solon. And now we're seeing Pastratis, who's now extending citizenship to people who don't even have land at all. So Athens is becoming more democratic by the day. He provided the poor with loans, and he put them to work building public work projects, things like aqueducts, bridges, and roads that would benefit all of the people of Athens. Our next ruler, Clastinus, I said that wrong. He ruled around 508 BC, and he extended his citizenship to more people, including the Metics, which are the free foreign living people in Athens. He expanded the rights of citizens to include freedom of speech and equality before the law. So we're seeing a more welcoming, more universally accepted Athens, more all-inclusive. He also expanded the power and membership of the assembly. All citizens belong to the assembly, and about 30,000 citizens lived in Athens. The assembly passed the laws, served as the highest court, and they chose 10 generals, the strategoi, to run the army and navy. He created a council of 500 who administered everyday government businesses like taxes, treaties, and public works. The council members were chosen by lottery, as we've mentioned in other areas, because of elections were considered unfair since rich men and good public speakers had an advantage. Some of the same complaints we have about our society today, that rich people buy elections by giving money to politicians. And people that are great speakers and great orators really have a very good advantage in today's televised debates. He used a jury to decide court cases. The jury consisted of 201 to 1,001 members who were all citizens. The verdict was a decision of the majority of the jury members. A large jury was believed to keep jurors from being influenced by threats, bribes, or prejudice. He introduced the concept of ostracism. Citizens wrote down the name of an undesirable politician on a piece of baked clay called an ostracon. If 6,000 citizens, and there were 30,000 we said, wrote down the name of the same person, he would then be exiled or ostracized for 10 years from Athens. So you better be a good politician. Clastinus' reforms lasted for about 200 years. So we have several very important rulers of Athens we see today, and we see a general concept. Things are becoming more welcoming. More people are being allowed to gain citizenship. As we saw, non-born people. We're seeing non-landowners were able to be citizens now. Some land was being given to people that had no land. So Athens is definitely becoming a land of the people, ruled by the people, and for the people. So good luck on your Ed Puzzle today, guys. Don't forget to do your follow-up quiz, and have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you next time.